Hello guys, it's me again, and today I'm bringing you the latest with a lot of speculations for you to do. It's a story that sounds too bizarre to be true, the kind of plot you'd expect from a sci-fi thriller, not the real-life world of pop-punk music. But for 2 decades, a shadow has followed Avril Lavigne, a whisper that has grown into a full-blown internet legend. The question is simple, yet utterly shocking. Did the real Avril Lavigne die back in 2003, only to be replaced by a look-alike named Melissa? This isn't just a fleeting rumor. It's a conspiracy theory with its own timeline, its own evidence.
Crazy rumor out there about you that I obviously have to ask about.
So. Oh, yeah, that one. I know what you're talking about. There's a conspiracy theory that I'm not me. Cool. Honestly, it's not that bad. It could be worse, right? I feel like I got a good one. I don't think it's like negative or anything like creepy. So it's like,
Avril, this conspiracy theory about you is a little creepy. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be worse.
It could? Yeah. Just to give people context, there's a conspiracy theory that Avril Lavigne is no longer with us. And there's a woman named Melissa who took over. And you, I can't even say seriously. You sitting across from me, you are Melissa.
And its own legion of believers who will point to everything from her handwriting to the lyrics in her songs, as proof that the woman we see today is an imposter. We're going to dive deep into this rabbit hole, separating the compelling coincidences from the outright fiction, and explore why this particular story has captured the imagination of the internet for so long. So let's rewind the clock back to the beginning, to the moment it all supposedly began. Picture the year 2002. A 17-year-old girl from Ontario explodes onto the global stage, a rebel in a tie and tank top, singing about skater boys and complicated relationships. She was the antithesis of the pop princesses of the era. She was raw, angsty, and unapologetically herself. Avril Lavigne wasn't just a musician, she was a cultural phenomenon. But with that meteoric rise came immense pressure. Behind the hits like Complicated and the success of her debut album, Let Go, fans and insiders alike began to whisper about a young woman struggling with the suffocating nature of fame. She was open about her grief following her grandfather's death.
Paparazzi, some people live for it, like they love it, and they like call them and tell them they're going to be places, or they'll go to places where the paparazzi hangs out. I hate it. I think they're really annoying, and I think it should be illegal. And I don't like it because I'll be like out doing stuff, and like I'll be followed the whole day, and I think it's dangerous, and I think it's creepy. Like I went on a jog the other day with my 2 girlfriends, and like then my pictures are all over the internet where I'm jogging, so whatever. I mean, it's gonna happen, but I have really controlled how much it does happen, and you can control it. You know, like, I live in a gated community. I don't go out to the Ivy for lunch, you know, like, I'm like really low-key. I don't like go sceney places too much and stuff, but it's an interesting subject.
And listeners began to hear a deeper sorrow in tracks from her second album, like Nobody's Home and My Happy Ending. These weren't just songs. To believers, they were cryptic confessionals, the cries for help of a girl who was drowning. The official story was that she was struggling, burning out. But the conspiracy theory offers a much darker finale, that Avril Lavigne didn't just break down, she supposedly died. This is where the name Melissa Vandella enters the story. According to the lore, Melissa was initially hired by the record label as a body double, a decoy to distract the paparazzi and give the real Avril some much-needed breathing room. It's a practice that isn't entirely unheard of in Hollywood. But the theory takes a sharp turn into the unbelievable here. The story goes that when the real Avril tragically passed away, the label, having invested millions of dollars into the Avril Lavigne brand, faced a catastrophic financial disaster. Their solution? to allegedly cover up her death entirely and train Melissa, the lookalike, to step into the role full-time. They owned the name, the image, the brand. All they needed was a new person to wear it. And so, in 2003, the theory claims, Melissa Vandella ceased to exist, and the new Avril Lavigne was introduced to the world. The transition, they say, was far from seamless. If you want to understand why people believe this, you have to look at the evidence they've compiled, and it starts with the most basic thing: her face. In the pre-social media era of the early 2000s, fans relied on magazines and music videos. And when they looked closely, they started to see inconsistencies. Side-by-side comparisons began to circulate, particularly on a Brazilian blog in 2011, that really fueled the theory. They pointed to the subtle, yet supposedly telling details. The placement of moles and freckles on her arms and face, the exact shape of her nose, the spacing of her eyes. Of course, the immediate logical rebuttal is puberty, makeup, growing up, or even minor cosmetic procedures. People change, especially between their late teens and early 20s. But believers argue that bone structure and permanent skin markings don't change that dramatically. Then there was the infamous photo, a shoot where the Avril of the time had the name Melissa seemingly written on her hand. To skeptics, it's a coincidence, a friend's name, or even a fabrication. But to those deep in the theory, it was a stunning slip-up, a moment where the mask literally had a name tag. But the evidence, they claim, goes far deeper than just photographs. It's embedded in her very identity. Handwriting analysis, for instance, became a key point. Comparisons of her autograph from 2002, 2006, and 2013 show what some experts, and many amateurs claim, are significant differences in the slant, pressure, and letter formation. The argument is that while a signature can evolve, its fundamental core remains. They say the later handwriting belongs to a completely different person. Then there's her voice.
Style changed, but this definitely supports the theory. There was an interview where Avril said that she would never wear preppy clothes, but around the time she passed away, allegedly, she started wearing preppier clothes. I saw another thing that was like, if you want to know which is which, Avril wears trousers and Melissa wears dresses and skirts. And in addition to the face changes that I previously talked about, there are a bunch of other changes. People think that her voice got higher, her signature changed, freckles and birthmarks were moved around, as I showed in the last video, and she started showing more skin in her music videos and photo shoots. But I mean, this could be just like a maturing thing.
Go back and watch an interview from 2002. The cadence, the tone, the accent, it's noticeably different from the voice in her interviews post-2003. Is it the result of vocal coaching, of growing older, of affecting a different persona?
So right now, my stylist is tripping out on me because I've just decided that I no longer want to wear a dress to the Brit Awards and I want to wear what I'm wearing in the car. How do you feel about that, Amy? It's not happening. And honestly, I'm not wearing heels down a runway so I can trip and fall and eat in front of everybody. Well, don't eat.
Or is it, as the theory suggests, the simple fact that it's a different person trying, but not quite succeeding, to mimic the original? And what about her personality? The original Avril was a self-proclaimed tomboy who famously said she'd never wear dresses or skirts on stage. She was a skater punk, a rebel. Then, in the years that followed, she was seen in frilly dresses, her style shifting dramatically. This culminated in what many fans call her confusing Hello Kitty era, a bizarre hyper-pop phase that felt so alien to the girl who sang Losing Grip that it felt like proof to many that her entire artistic core had been replaced. Perhaps the most haunting evidence for those who buy into this comes from the music itself. Conspiracy theorists have turned into lyrical detectives, scouring the post-2003 albums for hidden messages they believe Melissa left as a cry for help or a confession of her true identity. In the song Together from the album Under My Skin, she sings,
Someone else's lyrics, I want to be singing mine and what came from my heart and my opinions and how I believe and how I think.
She could tell she does not want to be seen.
I think that's very important. It's definitely would be an issue if I was singing other people's songs.
Thank you. Very excited to be here for the grand opening of Koi. It's my favorite restaurant. My favorite sushi restaurant in the world. So, because it's
Something just isn't right. I could feel it inside. The truth isn't far behind me. You can't deny. When I turn the lights out, when I close my eyes, reality overcomes me. I'm living a lie. In Best Years of Our Lives, the lyrics continue.
the first night. I had to fly in and be here.
It's been so quiet since you've gone, and every day feels more like a year. Sometimes I wish I could move on. The memories would all just disappear. To a casual listener, these are songs about a broken relationship. To a believer, they are the poignant, heartbreaking diary entries of a woman trapped in a lie, mourning the person she replaced, and confessing her reality to anyone listening closely enough. Of course, Avril Lavigne herself is aware of this theory. She has had to address it multiple times over the years. In a 2017 Facebook Q&A, when directly asked about it, she responded bluntly, "No, I'm not dead. I'm here." She dismissed the entire thing as something spawned because,
Avril.
No, I'm not dead. I'm here. Like, were we talking about that the other day? Is it strange that people think you're dead? Like, what the fuck? I don't even know why, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it is weird. I think they don't have anything else to talk about right now. So at least they're talking. And I think it's like really silly that anyone would even believe that. But yeah, it's this huge rumor. It's not even just a rumor. It's that I'm dead. Aren't they saying like that? Like I'm an imposter. I'm an imposter. Mm-hmm. Damn. Did I like look that different? But then at the same time, other people will say that I haven't aged, and they'll take pictures of me from like way back and like now and be like, oh my gosh, she doesn't age. She looks the same. So it kind of doesn't really make any sense. I think people are just bored and they need something to talk about.
people are just bored and need something to talk about. Later, in 2019, she told E! News that she was flabbergasted people.
Laugh at the rumors that went around where you no longer exist and there's a clone of you. So you
I
died
forgot
like
about
years
that.
ago and there's a clone pretending to be you.
That's mental.
Yeah, some people think that I'm not the real me, which is so weird. Like, why would they even think that?
I don't know.
Oh, they
I love this game.
There's some whack
they
jobs
delve
out there.
right into it. I can't remember. It's something weird. Even when I was looking at the article, like the big conspiracy theory, I'm like, do you know what? Maybe they're right. Like,
Oh,
you
come
read a
on.
conspiracy theory and you get sucked into it because they've got so much evidence that proves you're not real.
So dumb.
But that one of all the conspiracy theories was probably the most far-fetched.
Bought into such a dumb rumor. And yet the questions persist. Even in recent interviews, like her appearance on the Call Her Daddy podcast,
About my high school experience, sort of like different groups and cliques and stuff, and I was obsessed with skater boys. And I'm really excited to learn how to make a movie. That's just like the next step for me in my career. I've done like little acting here and there, and you know, I've shot enough music videos.
I would describe my music. It's got edge to it. The lyrics are honest. I write about, what I've been through in all of my 17 years. Just different situations and my opinions. It's, lots of guitars going on, and I like to rock out. Avril Lavigne, skater punk, and it's like, first of all, punk is a very serious word. I skateboard, and I like to skateboard. I'm no pro, but people kind of just blew that out of proportion. I guess it's the way I dress or whatever.
the host couldn't help but tiptoe around the theory, noting that she just seems like a different person. And that's the sticking point, the seed from which this entire conspiracy grows. The most logical explanation is also the simplest. People change. The 17-year-old girl who was thrust into global stardom was bound to evolve.
People think that.
I think that they've done that with other artists. I'm not the only one.
I think like other people have that.
I feel like yours is like really prominent.
Yeah.
The tomboy phase might have been a moment in time, and the woman she became simply has different tastes. The voice deepened and changed with age and professional training. The handwriting evolved through years of signing autographs. The moles? Maybe they were covered with makeup.
I mean, I feel like you might believe that.
I'm honestly the one that started the conspiracy theory. I went undercover to interview Melissa. It's fucking crazy, and I just have empathy for you, but it's good again to know you don't give a fuck. I remember like being like, what are people talking about? And then I went and started looking and like, oh, people are fucking insane. So you don't care. So your name is Avril Lavigne.
Yeah. But I knew you half believed it.
Or maybe they faded. The Melissa on the hand? A meaningless detail amplified by the desperate need for a pattern. But that's the power of a conspiracy theory. It takes a series of unconnected, explainable events and weaves them into a narrative that is often far more compelling than the mundane truth. It's a story of corporate greed, a tragic death, and a stolen identity. It's a Hollywood script playing out in real time. And perhaps the most chilling comment that sums it all up came from a fan online who wrote, "At this point, Melissa has been Avril for longer than Avril was Avril." It's a statement that forces you to confront the sheer longevity of this rumor. So, what is the shocking truth? The truth, in all likelihood, is that Avril Lavigne is, and always has been, Avril Lavigne. She is a human being who grew up in the blinding glare of the spotlight, and her evolution has been documented, analyzed, and ultimately fictionalized into a ghost story. The clone theory persists not because of any concrete proof, but because it's a fascinating, spooky story that allows us to question the reality of the celebrities we think we know. It's a modern myth, a cautionary tale about fame, and a testament to the fact that, on the internet, a good story is often more powerful than the truth.